The New York Rangers with a fantastic 1-0 victory against the Hurricanes in Raleigh. I've got 5 takeaways from the game. Let's do it. And well, welcome back to New York Sports Wicker Media. I'm Watt2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So as I'm recording, the Rangers just wrapped up a dramatic, crazy, heart-palpitating, if that's even a word, victory over the second-place Metropolitan Division Carolina Hurricanes. With the win, the Rangers extend their division lead to 6 points with 18 games remaining. There's no doubt these two teams are going to finish first and second in the division. The question is, who's going to win it? Well, the Rangers' regulation victory tonight is going to go a long way towards helping them with that. And it's interesting to think about with the trade deadline. It felt Carolina was really going above and beyond. You know, they have a lot of free agents coming up after this season. This felt like an all-in season for them. They bring in Evgeny Kuznetsov from Washington, who has a Stanley Cup on his resume. They bring in Jake Guentzel, excellent player from Pittsburgh who has a great history of playoff success. And this was Guentzel's first game with Carolina. And you could tell it wasn't quite in sync just yet. But most of that, to me, you got to give all the credit in the world to the Rangers defense, who, again, playing without Jacob Trouba, still injured. And that's the first thing I want to talk about is the Rangers defense. I thought they played an incredibly tight defensive game against the potentially dangerous Carolina offense where, you know, it's like the sum is greater than the parts. Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov are excellent players. They've seemed to have lacked that second line center for a long time. But, you know, when they're on, they can really put the puck in the net. And to shut them out is quite impressive. And this combination of K'Andre Miller and Braden Schneider is just working. It's just working. I thought Miller, in particular, and that's number 2, K'Andre Miller, played some of the best defensive hockey I have seen him play in all his time as a Ranger. You know, he's an incredibly frustrating player to watch. You know, he makes mistakes, especially with defensive coverage, things like that. But tonight, he knew when to lay out. He knew when to hit, when to poke check. I thought Miller played a very, very sound defensive game. And if you're going to talk about a shutout, you have to talk about Igor Shesterkin, who has now shut out 2 opponents in a row. He was fantastic in this game, looked calm, looked confident, and it's amazing to think, just about 2 months ago, Rangers fans were panicking, thinking, maybe Jonathan Quick should be the Rangers' #1 goaltender, you know? That was actually a thing. But Nomos Shesterkin, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Benoit Allaire. I don't know what it is. But Igor is just looking better and better and better. And a shutout Carolina at home, unbelievable. And with the Rangers, their third line, this is takeaway number 4. The third line is doing everything but scoring. Alex Wenberg, just acquired from Seattle, along with Capo Caco and Will Cooley, the 2 youngsters. It's a good-looking line. I'm liking what they do. They have a tendency when they're on, they can handle the puck very well. They can control possession, create great scoring opportunities. They can get physical when they need to. So far, they have done everything you could want except to score a goal, and I have a feeling that might be coming in the very near future. And number 5, really about just the game itself, just the quality of game. I don't think this is the type of game that is going to attract a casual fan or somebody flipping the dials. They see a 1-0 game and they'll think to turn it on. But if you love the sport of hockey, you had to love this game. There were periods where it was very, very tight. The defense was great. You know, for most of the second period, the Rangers were on their heels. But then all of a sudden, you'd have these moments, back and forth, odd man rushes each way. Both goaltenders coming up huge. Kuchikov from Carolina. I know I butchered the name. Peter. Sorry for butchering the name, but you know, he made some amazing saves as well. Props to him. It'll help my fantasy team out too, if I'm being honest. So I'm glad he did well also. But tons of offense, tons of defense, or offensive opportunities, but the defenses and goaltending were up to the challenge. And a playoff series with these two teams, it may not be the flashiest, it may not be the prettiest, but it will be some of the most dramatic hockey you can imagine. And these two teams are no strangers to each other in the playoffs. They've had 2 series in the last 4 years, I believe. So, hey, round 3, it only seems right, doesn't it? But a couple other quick things on the game. Adam Fox scores the Rangers' only goal with 8 seconds to go in the first period. The crowd still boos him every time he touches the puck, since he originally was at one time a Hurricane. But some of the statistics are pretty crazy in this game. Shots on goal pretty close. Rangers 24, Hurricanes 28. And considering the Rangers didn't have a shot on goal for about 12 or 13 minutes in this game during the second period, that's actually pretty surprising. Face-off wins. Hurricanes win 26, Rangers win 24. And in the last 2 minutes, the Hurricanes were really controlling the face-off circle, especially when they had a lot of those face-offs in the Rangers' end of the ice, which is why it was even more paramount that the defense and Shesterkin stepped up their game, which they did. But the last face-off of the game, the Rangers controlled it with, I believe, 6 seconds to go on the clock, and that was it. Hits. Hurricanes with 24, Rangers with 21. Rangers would have had a lot more had Matt Rempe been playing. Block shots. This was interesting. Rangers with 23, Hurricanes with only 12. This was like John Tortorella era with Henrik Lundqvist, the black and blue shirts. This was like the early 2010 Rangers is what we were watching with this game. Defense first. Credit to Peter Laviolette to have them ready. He knew the way the Rangers had to play the Hurricanes. The Rangers had to frustrate them, and that's exactly what they were doing. And penalties. This was a very clean game. There were 3 penalties in the entire game, 2 taken by Carolina, 1 taken by New York. No team scores on the power play. But yeah, it was a good, hard-hitting, but clean hockey game. Absolutely fantastic to watch. A hell of a lot better than the last time the Rangers played the Hurricanes at Madison Square Garden when the Rangers were basically done in the first 10 minutes. That game was just a nightmare. And so now, as I said, the Rangers have a 6-point lead in the Metropolitan Division over Carolina. And the Rangers have a very tough week that is still in progress. They got Tampa Bay on Thursday. Then they've got, I believe, the Penguins and the Islanders back-to-back St. Patrick's Day weekend. So let's see what happens. But I'll tell you what, Rangers are looking good. And even without Jacob Trouba for the next probably 2 weeks and Matt Rempe for another 3 games, they've got great depth. Johnny Brodzinski back in the lineup. Looked fine. But yeah, you got to be pretty excited about where this team could be heading. All right, those are my thoughts on the New York Rangers victory tonight over Carolina. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.